Hey everybody, Nick here, and today got some disassembly and maintenance for you on this little guy right here. This is the CRKT Knives Thero, a TJ Schwarz design. Now first off, I'm going to answer the question that everybody's going to be angrily posting down in the comments here immediately, which is, Nick, oh my god, that's a clone of the Millet Torrent. Yes and no. Not necessarily. Really? What are you fighting me with here, buddy? Oh, that's free spinning. Okay. Anyways, no, it is not a clone in the sense that it is an unauthorized copy of it. This is a knife that is by the exact same designer, and it's actually different in a couple of ways. I mean, the biggest one being, of course, the blade shape is different than the Torrent was, but, this is by the same designer. He's just now working with CRKT, and he's given them a version of the knife that is, well, a little bit more budget-friendly, so to speak. All right, come on, pop loose. What the heck is your problem here, buddy? Is it wanting to come loose from this side? Is that my issue? Yeah, okay. So the screw wants to come out from this side, not that one. All right, I can live with this. Now we need to... Hold on, then. So if that screw comes loose from there, that means, do I have to take off the clip? I might not have to take off the clip. Maybe instead all I have to do is remove these two screws here. The reason I'm concerned about that is not, that taking off the clip is so onerous or anything. It's just I want to try, and anytime I do a disassembly, I don't want to remove more screws than are necessary. Because, well, when you do that, then suddenly you end up screwing one up. And that's not something that's great. Using a little spudger tool here to try and get this screw out of there so I don't lose it someplace. Doesn't yeet itself across the damn room. All right. So, for the moment, it's not going anywhere, so I'm not going to fight it. What was I saying? If you're ever curious about any of the tools I'm using for this disassembly or any other one, go ahead and check out nickshabazz.com/tools, and that'll get you a video that shows you every damn tool I'm using. Anyways, there we go. This is the pivot. The pivot is got a little collar to it. We will leave that collar on there. All right, now we should be able to pop this knife apart. I don't suspect that there are other screws hiding underneath this. Looks to be either an injection molded plastic or a G10 or something like that. But I don't think there are extra screws hiding under there, so I should just be able to use my little spudger tool here and pop this liner here loose. Hopefully. Yeah, okay, so that's off. Good. Oh, there we go. We're off. Teflon. Of course, CRKT. Why you gotta go there? So look, inside, this is super vanilla, right? There's really nothing at all to write home about. If I were writing a letter home, well, I am home, so that doesn't make any sense. But nonetheless, no part of this knife would be included in that just because there's nothing here. In practice, what you have here is there is the DLC coating, and unfortunately, they did not. They coated the whole blade, even the lock bar. Come on here, the tent ball path. So that means that the action will get a little better as it wears in, but otherwise, honestly, there's really not much to comment on here. Oh, we're number one, I guess. I have no idea what that means. So, I know what number one means. That's a different question, though, isn't it? All right. So I am not going to be able to get this Teflon washer off of here, so I'll just wash it off. This is fresh from the factory. Just for full disclosure, this was sent to me by CRKT. They actually reached out and said, hey, Nick, here's what we're going to be dropping. You interested in any of it? And I said, yes, I am. A couple of the designs jumped out at me, so I went ahead and I placed a request. But anyways, so yeah, this is pretty damn vanilla on the inside here. And that's an absolutely fine thing to be, right? This has no crazy milling, no crazy cut-throughs. It's, in many ways, actually, I'm pretty impressed by the fact that they were able to... this was not a cheap design, so to speak. The Torrent was a relatively complicated knife. And the fact is that they were able to recreate at least some parts of the subjective experience of it actually quite effectively at a pretty good price. I'm not unimpressed with this knife so far. I actually carried this guy. Usually I don't carry a knife before I've done the maintenance, but I was in a situation where I'd not had the time to do some maintenance for a little while, so I was running a little behind, and I wanted to have something in the pocket for review, so to speak. And so I just grabbed this guy and threw it in there. And day one, you know what? I was pretty impressed by it. Just put a little bit of oil in the detent ball, and actually way too much oil in the detent ball. But that'll lubricate the detent ball path over time. I'm going to calm that down a little bit because, bro, really, Exxon Shabazz? Really? Alrighty. Beautiful. Now what I should be able to do, now that I've gotten everything sort of coated and ready, is just put things back together. This turns out to be a pretty straightforward disassembly at the moment. I'll go ahead and I'll grab some blue thread locker, and I will apply a little to this pivot here. And come on now. There we go. Beautiful. And that's in place, at least very loosely. By the way, it's T8 driver for the pivot, T6 driver for the scale screws. That screw never wanted to come loose, and that's okay. I'm not going to fight him about it. One could make an argument that I could want to put some Loctite on there, but no harm, no foul, right? All right. Let's now tighten down, and we'll tighten you down a little bit. And there we go. So, that's got way, way, way too much blade play because I have not tightened the pivot down fully. Now I've tightened the pivot down to where it wants to stop. Okay, that's still a really good action. But the centering has now gone completely and entirely to heck. That might not be fixable. However, one of the ways to fix it, if it is to actually loosen the pivot a little bit, because the centering right now is favoring the clip side, which generally indicates that you have a pivot that is over tight. Okay, there's still no blade play there, so that's a fine tension. Oh, wrong side. Loosening up a little further. Centering is now dead nut on. Not quite. Now we have blade play. So I'll tighten just a little bit here. No play. Centering is currently very slightly favoring the lock side, or rather the show side, which means pivot's a little loose. Tighten, tighten. Dropping my little Loctite cap there. Let me give it a little bit more of a twist here. Oh, wrong driver. All right, we are pretty darn centered. No play. Yeah, that's close enough to centered that I don't care. And to reinforce that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just loosen these screws just for a moment here. Tighten them back up again. That can help get some of the strain out of the system, and suddenly we can find ourselves pretty much dead centered. Excellent flip in action. No vertical or horizontal blade play. Well, that was easy. Alrighty. No argument there. Today we have witnessed something beautiful, and at least by my weird standards. Anyways, there you go. I hope you found this interesting, and have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.